was the 1990s, a big show in a small town off I-75 in Georgia. They were called the biggest cocks in the henhouse. But things have changed since then. It's been 30 years, and they finally found a home here, like everyone else, doing a podcast. It's Erica and Mark, the phone call podcast thing.
Hello?
Hello? Who's this?
This is the formerly Walking Dead Mark.
Oh, yes, this is Mark. Mark, for those of you who don't know how time works in the podcast world, Mark and I haven't talked in a couple of weeks because Mark almost died from whatever he had.
Oh, my gosh.
Did you ever figure out, was it COVID or super
COVID?
COVID?
I never took the test. My wife was trying to get me to take the test. My nurse wife said that I really need to go take the test. And I said, do I really want to know what's killing me?
Yes, you do.
Because there's nothing that, like, for example, if I would find out that it's, let's say it's XYZ, and they have a shot or a pill for XYZ, I'd be more that would stop me from dying.
That sounds like some kind of weird sexually transmitted disease. Oh, yeah, I had a bad case of XYZ. What, your fly was down and you caught something? What happened?
When you're not careful. You get them from toilet seats, I understand.
Well, Mark, I'm glad you're alive and I'm glad you're feeling better. But you know what? All this might not matter because this could be our last show here coming up on Christmas.
Again.
Yes, this could be our it's the end of the year, and I think the aliens are finally here, and all these drones. You know, these aren't drones, right? These are actually aliens or AI or something other than we know what they are. That's why the White House isn't talking about it. The Penthouse isn't talking about the Penthouse. The White House isn't talking about it. Nobody's talking.
Heard, and I don't know if this is true or not.
Oh, I already know what you're going to say. The conservatives are all saying that this is somebody lost some uranium. There's a dirty bomb out there, and they're going to bomb Trump's inauguration.
My favorite tinfoil hat theory on this.
What?
And I saw there's a guy, I can't remember, he makes his rounds around the podcasting. He's been on a lot of different shows. He's an older looking guy.
Dr. Greer. Dr. Stephen Greer.
Is that who that is?
That's who that is. Yeah, he lives in Asheville, actually, where I just got back from.
Very smart man, very calm about it, and very. And he said they asked him on this, whatever this podcast was, I saw a clip, and they asked him, what's the worst secret that you know? Like, what's the worst thing that
Project Bluebeam. Bluebeam.
And is that the one where they will falsify a UFO attack so they can control?
All right, so even crazier. This is going to affect you and me both for different reasons. So allegedly, the big theory is all these satellites that Elon's putting up in space to give us all Starlink and better internet up in the boonies, it does do that. But apparently it also is part of a giant hologram machine that's going to create giant holograms in the sky.
Yes.
And when it's all put together, Christian nations are going to see Jesus appear over their capitals and just say, hey, I am Jesus, just like in the Book of Mormon, and I am not the one true God. Thanks for all the worship, but you have to listen to this, which is actually the one true God. They're going to do it with Jesus. They're going to do it with Allah. They're going to do it with Buddha and all the other made-up ones. And anybody who doesn't fall in line to worship this new God is going to be in trouble. So people like me are going to be the first to say go to re-education camps and you never hear from us again. But you better listen to what your Jesus tells you. You're in trouble.
That's actually biblical. That's biblical anyway, because they say it's going to be false.
Why do you think they're doing it like that? That's exactly why.
There's a false prophet. So you're going to see something you're going to think it's Jesus. It could be a false prophet.
But what if Jesus can prove to you that he is Jesus?
They already said that you'll think he'll do things just like it. You would expect Jesus.
Well, then how the hell can you believe in Jesus if you think?
Well, the bottom line is, I think it's what really boils down to. I think when you have a belief, like I am, as I believe, that I'm just gonna know when it's true.
You're gonna know. Okay.
I'm just gonna know. There's just certain things I just know.
Yeah.
And I'm not worried. There's things that I used to be supremely worried about, like death. You remember how scared I was of death?
Yeah. You wouldn't even ride in a hearse like a big pussy.
Really? Because I know. To me, I know where I'm going, and there's nothing to be afraid of.
Right.
So I'm done with that. So I believe that all those other things. So I believe that's a possibility. I always thought, to me, it's going to be something. My guess would be it would be something that where the government is going to use everything that we know against us. Period. Just to create nonsense. Because
I love
about
paranoid.
25 people,
Yeah.
maybe 50 people
Yeah.
that really have their own idea of what they want the Earth to be, and it's nothing like this because we still have stuff like a sense of purpose and a mind and free thought, and they don't like any of that stuff. They want us to run around and do exactly what they say for us to do. It pisses them off to no end. You know, people like that. What's the name of that guy that always is involved in politics all the time?
Trump?
No Strauss.
George Soros?
Soros. Yeah.
Yeah.
People like him, scumbags. They hate people. They hate everybody. What's
Well-
the name of the guy that made the computers? Bill Gates. Hates people.
Yeah.
Absolutely hates people.
You don't know that. You don't know Bill Gates or George Soros. You don't know.
They hate people. They can't stand us. They
Well,
just
I
can't
mean,
stand
I
us.
don't like people either, but
They
you
want
know,
us dead.
But I don't
They only
necessarily.
want the people around that's going to conform, and they like the people that still wear the mask today in the car by themselves.
You know,
That's
I
the
did,
people
I
they-
did, I did a whole bunch of Christmas shopping today with my daughter, and I cannot tell you how many people I saw walking around the mall wearing frickin' masks.
For real.
Yeah, for real. People still
They're still
wear
out
masks. Yeah. What are they? What are they doing? Are they in disguise? Is it illegal to wear it? What if they walked into a bank? Can you still walk into a bank wearing a mask and not get arrested?
Supposedly that was against the law. I know when you recall when my son wore the ape costume.
Yeah.
There's a law in Florida that says you're not allowed to wear a mask outside of Halloween.
They were none too happy with that, huh?
No, that was the law they were going to get them on.
Well, you know what? All these laws are going to be a moot point soon. I think I may go out and buy myself a Christmas Porsche 911, even though I can't afford it because, the end may be here. So I better get that.
Why hasn't this is New Jersey? Why
Oh,
hasn't
well,
somebody
first of all,
thrown something at
Hold
it?
on, slow down. Now, it's New Jersey because of one reason. That is the largest television market in the country. There's more people packed in that little area around New York and New Jersey and frickin' Staten Island than anywhere else in the country. That's why that's getting all the press. But the reality of it is, if you get onto the YouTube or to Reddit, you can see this stuff is happening all over the world. There's been reports in the last couple of nights of Arizona, Florida, Texas, California. There were airplanes. I guess it was late last week, around the middle of December, where there was a Pilatus Airbus or a Pilatus ambulance flying off the coast of Oregon, talking to air traffic control, seeing these lights that were kind of hanging there and, not too far away from his airplane. And then they shot up to about 55,000 feet and hung there. And then they came back down really fast in a corkscrew manner to right above the ocean. The Alaska Airlines saw it. So did United Airlines. People on the air ambulance got video of it with their phones, and they were getting the phone number of the air traffic control guy to send it to him, just so he could see what it was. But it's in
these
China.
drones,
It's
they don't show up on
radar.
On a radar.
Well, the way that radar works, that it was
Aren't they
explained to me.
plastic anyway, or no?
I don't know, but the way that radar works is, first of all, each airplane has a transponder, so that transponder is pinging that airplane so that the air traffic control knows where it is and all the other planes know where it is. But the way radar works is a signal from a radar dish goes flying out into the atmosphere, and it hits something and it bounces back and it catches it on its next go around. But these things aren't showing up on radar, even though they're there. Usually small things will probably not show up that well on radar, but chances are they'll show up. But even weirder, I did see a weird one on Reddit, and I'm not sure if I believe it or not because I'm very skeptical of most things I see on the internet. But there was a sheriff's helicopter looking at one in New Jersey, and they could see it. It was blinking red and green lights, but it was hovering. And red and green is what the FAA requires for aviation at night. You have to have red and green strobes on your wings to indicate that you are an aircraft. And that's what this thing was doing. And they could see it with the naked eye, but then they turned their infrared camera on and they couldn't see it. And that's kind of strange because normally the opposite is true. When you don't see something and you turn the infrared on, you see it. Like the video that got leaked, I don't know, it was earlier this year of that like, I don't know, it was kind of it was kind of a squid or kind of a weird looking entity that was floating over one of our bases in either Iraq or Afghanistan. But it was doing it at night, and nobody saw it because it was floating over the people that were walking around the base. Nobody saw it, but the infrared camera saw it crystal clear. And then it went out into the ocean, and it went down into the ocean. And then it came back up about 20 minutes later and then shot up out of sight.
Now, I know you can get all kinds of drones. So, I mean, I don't know. Last time I bought a drone was a long time ago. I bought one for my son. It was plastic and it didn't last very long.
Well, drones have dramatically
5 years
improved.
Ago.
Yeah.
And then I bought one for my grandson, but it was a couple $100. I have no idea what it looked like because I had it shipped to him.
Well, these things are as big as a Ford Explorer or a small school bus, and a lot of them aren't making any noise. Some of them you can hear the little helicopter buzzing. Those are the ones that are probably ours. But if you are maybe a nefarious superpower like China that may or may not be further ahead of us than we'd like to admit, that have mastered something like this, or maybe you're something else that we can't explain, that is messing with our military because, we're moving nuclear weapons around or something. What better way to, show yourselves than to blend, than to create an object that has the green and red blinking lights? And everybody will think, oh, it's just another drone, and it's not, some AI or alien thing that's up to no good.
I just can't understand how somebody from Jersey hasn't shot it yet.
They have. I have video of that.
Okay, good.
There's a YouTube page called Casper Site who's been collecting a lot of this information. And yeah, some hammerhead with an AR-15 that had some tracer rounds is in his backyard. Just illegal as hell to do that. I mean, it is just as illegal to shoot at a drone as it is to shoot at a 747.
Why is that? And why is that?
Well, it's because if you start shooting bullets up into the air at something and you don't hit it,
come down?
Those bullets are going to come down somewhere. Yes,
right.
That's exactly right. Yes.
Okay.
But you could have a drone hovering over your backyard with a camera taking video of you as you lay out.
Illegal.
And it is illegal to shoot that drone, even if it's hovering right above your swimming pool where your kids are swimming. You can't shoot. No, that is still illegal.
Law?
The federal government, the FAA. Do you know what the saying is at the FAA? They have a motto. The FAA is not unhappy, or is not happy until you're unhappy. That's the FAA's motto. And they've.
Why does that make sense? Why is that not a big surprise? Why am I not going, oh, that's unbelievable?
Yeah, the FAA's got, those guys got no sense of humor over there whatsoever.
Oh gosh, yeah, I seen them kick people out of a perfectly good plane because they just decided they didn't want them there anymore.
That's right. Yeah. Government's funny like that. But anyway, this could be our last show. I'm sure everyone listening is hoping it is. And,
I want to see. I just want to see. I just can't quite understand how no one has just started. You know what? You're not going to take care of business. We need to take care of business.
Well, hold on.
The same way. If you remember, they were very nonchalant. The United States government was very nonchalant when that balloon was coming across the United States, and it took forever for them to shoot that.
Well, first of all the conservatives were screaming, "Oh, Biden let that balloon go all the way across the country before they shot it down over South Carolina." First of all, they addressed that in a press conference, and the Biden administration said that they deferred all that decision making to the Pentagon because this is a national defense thing, and the Pentagon could do. He literally told the Pentagon, "You guys do what you want with it. Shoot it down if you want to, or you can study it. Do whatever you want to do." Well, it turns out that that's what they were doing. They were studying it. The entire time that balloon was floating from Alaska to off the coast of South Carolina, there were AWACS planes circling underneath it, jamming it from doing anything, from taking any kind of pictures
Do they
and
even know
sending
what
them
it
back.
was? Did they ever find out anything about it?
They must have, because they waited. And second of all, that thing was huge. You couldn't just shoot that thing down because it would have come falling down onto the ground somewhere, and it could have fallen onto a road or somebody's house or a building. That's a dangerous thing to do. You can't just shoot something down and hope it doesn't hit anybody. This is a very densely populated country that we're in. But
I know the government's not really our friend.
No,
so
but the government knows a whole lot more about that thing than we do, and they must have had reasons for allowing it to cross the country like that, because they could have easily shot it down, which they did.
But, it's kind of ballsy to even think that it's okay. Where have we gone now that people actually think it's okay to F with us?
Well, this is China we're talking about. They don't care. China is very arrogant, and they may be further ahead with technology than we are. We might have actually fallen behind.
Yeah, I did this. That's been going on for a long time. I mean,
Right.
I've heard for a long time about them, Chinese students coming over and learning and working big jobs and getting great jobs here, and then going back with our information.
The Chinese copy everything everybody else makes, not just us, the British or whoever. They copy everything, and sometimes they copy it well, other times they don't copy it so well. I might have bought a couple of replica watches that say Rolex on them, that unless you are a professional watch fixer or a jeweler with a magnifying glass, I dare you to tell the difference.
This is not the spot where I'm supposed to put in the joke about Rolex, right?
That's correct. No, this is not the spot. No, we'll do that. We'll do that later.
That's wrong, right?
That's wrong. Yeah. You know what? Go ahead. It's Christmas. Go ahead.
I remember last time, I think, if I'm not mistaken, right before I got that Indonesian flu, that was, I think I said the word slant, and I was supposed to be getting it.
That's exactly. This is what happened to you. Yes. You said slant, and then you got sick. Look, see? You know what? Oh, my God, you're right. I said it.
They probably put something on. They probably went to the gym before I did, touched a few of the machines I touched, and said, "Here you go. Want to say slant? We'll fix you."
So I guess you could call the watches that I may or may not have a Rolex. Rolex. That's what we'll call them. Rolex. These things are not cheap either, man. These are not like $80 watches. These are rather expensive watches, but they're also not $20,000 like a real Rolex would cost.
No. I bought a $20 Rolex, and it had that little crown and the whole works. And you know how they found out? They found out that I took it to a shop because I just wanted to know. I didn't know anything about it. Because this is a very simple way to always know. And I said, because besides, number one, no one's ever going to sell them to you for $100.
Right.
That's the first thing it should
Correct.
tell you right away. It's fake. And he said the second thing was that the second hand doesn't click.
Yes. Yeah.
It's kind of smooth.
So there are several layers of fake watches that you can get from China or wherever. We call those watches that you're talking about, we call those shitters. That's what everybody calls those. Oh yeah, I got my $80 shitter Daytona or Omega Speedmaster. And some of them work on batteries. Some of them don't even have inner workings like you would see on a real Rolex watch. But the other ones that are anywhere from $700 to $1,200. Now those watches, those can be 1-to-1 clones, and unless you take the back off of it and start looking at it and examining the jewels that are inside of it and looking at the exact design of the movement, I there's not many people that can tell. So I buy these things because I like the way they feel on my wrist. I like the way they look. You know, I just like a nice analog watch. I have an Apple Watch. I have an Apple Watch, you know, the Pro thing, but I wear that when I work because I'm always getting alerts when I'm trying to sign into something. And it just goes to my watch and I can approve the login on my watch. But otherwise, you know, the Apple Watch is better in every way. The way that you can that you compare a Rolex and an Apple Watch is kind of like an electric Porsche. It does a lot of stuff. It's very efficient. It's really neat. It's stuff full of technology. It works great. You know, you can use it for a phone. You can do so many things with that Apple Watch. But a Rolex watch is like a classic car. It does one thing. It makes you feel good when you look at it, when you want to see what time it is. And that's all it does.
Yeah, it was. That's what I like. I like the fact that it's got the medical stuff in there where you can keep up with stuff, and it keeps track of my gym and keeps track of everything for you. And then you can also use it as a phone if you need to.
Right.
So I don't have to carry it when I go into the gym. I can just go with that. And,
I wear mine when I'm riding my bike just so I can see what my heart rate is and see how far I've
your
gone.
heart rate.
Yeah.
And then of course you can always get your Spotify through it or Apple Tunes and.
Yep.
iTunes and
Apple Tunes. Yeah, I think it's called Apple Tunes now. They changed it. How old are you? Oh my God! How sick were you? Did you get brain damage?
No, I don't.
Sure.
That was going a long time ago.
Yeah, that ship did sail, huh?
Yeah, so a while back. Well, let's take a quick break. And since it's our Christmas show, I got a good little Christmas quiz to see if you know any facts about Christmas.
I know about Santa Claus. Pretty good with that.
And then I'll tell you something that was really wild. Only in New Orleans can you see things like this. It kind of bugged me out. Well, I'll take a quick break and I'll come back and tell you what I was doing.
All right.
All right?
Yep.
All right.
Erica and Mark. The phone call.
Okay, so I was talking to you earlier that I went to go see a 90-year-old man in concert.
Barry Manilow is still alive?
Would he be 90? I guess he might be.
I don't know.
No,
man.
This guy was famous before Barry Manilow was famous.
Who?
Herb Alpert.
Oh, with the Tijuana Brass.
Yes.
I only know that because I used to play trumpet when I was young.
Oh, did you?
I did.
So
I
he was
still
like
have
an
it.
idol then, right?
Yeah.
That guy was like him and Al Hirt. There's a bunch of that were really
Dizzy
big in
Gillespie.
the 60s.
Dizzy Gillespie was the guy with the big puffy cheeks. He was the
Yes.
he was the one. He was the one I liked.
So many great ones. And he's married to, you ever heard of a band called Brazil 66?
No.
It's a Brazil jazz band it's Sergio Mendes, I think
Sure.
it was, or Melendez. Anyway, from the late 60s, they were similar to Herb Alpert, but they had a little more music. And he's married to the lead singer from there, that guy. So they were playing all this jazz, this like Latin jazz sound from the 60s. And it was
that sounds torturous to me. Just torturous.
Oh, no. What great music, man. What great musicians and singers and stuff.
Man, the closest I ever got to jazz was I love Steely Dan. That's as close as I'm going to get. I don't want to get any closer.
Good.
That's it.
And it was just really, really good music. And I was over in the other coast because it was on the other side. I was across the bridge. It was over in the Jefferson Theater, which is in Metairie, which is just outside. It's like a subdivision of New Orleans. And a lot of stuff going on this past weekend. First of all, you had the Louisiana High School football championships being played at the they don't call it the Super. I think they still do call it the Superdome. It's Caesars Superdome now. And,
it's the Mercedes-Benz Dome, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, it's Mercedes-Benz is the sponsor now. And then they have a bunch of things going on, and of course Christmas parades. Now there's always a parade. I used to get very excited at the fact that I was moving to an area that has a lot of parades, but their parades aren't the same as everyone else's parade. First of all, there's no marching bands.
And it's just a bunch of people showing their tits because it's New Orleans.
Well, no, that too, but there's also a lot of people where they just they're very much into the, not everybody, but there's a big influence of voodoo.
Oh, so
if you remember when you
voodoo.
were living in Fort Lauderdale, if you ever took a trip in the like Hialeah, they had a lot of that brujeria, the black magic stuff. The people that would wear all white, or they would wear all black, and they were kind of weird looking. And everyone said, "Don't stare at them."
Dude, even in the 80s, I knew to stay out of Hialeah, which is now the worst place in America to live. It's been voted.
I went down. So they
beat out Chicago.
So they have the this parade, and it's for. Maybe you've heard of this before. I've never heard this before, but apparently there's a Krampus.
Yeah. Krampus is that's a very scary movie about like a killer Santa Claus.
Okay, yeah, because this particular it's not like Papa Noel where they run around giving away free toys to the good boys and girls. This is the guy that takes care of business for the bad kids.
Yeah, he's Murder Claus.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can just remember. All I can think is, who does this at Christmas time?
People in New Orleans. In New Orleans.
Big long parade. You never seen somebody heads of babies in a basket.
Yeah.
It's like, Merry Christmas to you too. It's
People
like,
love that. People love that stuff. Yeah, why not?
And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going, my parents would say, when I was younger, like, and I just knew from my birthday on November 30th, starting at that point on, I had very minimal time to get my act together before Santa came. Mm-hmm. And if I didn't have my act together, there's a really good chance I won't get whatever the big toy I was looking for, the Matchbox City or the.
You know what? It's a good thing you didn't know about Krampus. Krampus coming after you.
I am very glad. Well, I'm going to tell you, if my parents introduced Krampus, they would have to introduce it 1 year, show a picture of a dead baby, and say this is what happens, and I would be behaving 365 days a year.
I would think that would probably ruin Christmas for most kids if we just don't want to do Christmas if that's part of it.
I know. I could not believe it. I was like, this is absolutely insane.
Look, man, I like scaring people as much as the next person does, probably more. But I wouldn't do that to a kid, man. Scare him with Krampus.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah.
That's a lot.
But also, there is a Krampus movie that I would encourage you to watch.
If it's anything about this, absolutely no way.
Oh, it's totally about this. Yeah, it's scary as It's very scary. It's also a little funny. So I know it's very creative. It's just called Krampus. Go look it up. All right, you got a Christmas quiz for me there, Grandma Krampus?
Yes. Okay. Well, not really a quiz, but these are just interesting facts about Christmas. And it comes from the Good Housekeeping magazine. How do you like that?
All right. So we're not going to have anything about UFO sightings go up 2,000% on Christmas Eve.
No.
Okay.
And I knew about this too, and I've heard this before, but Christmas was not always celebrated on December 25th.
It sounds like maybe it's a made-up holiday. Is that what you're trying to say?
December 25th is not anywhere in the Bible.
No.
And I always heard the same thing. As a lot of people think that historians think that Jesus was actually born in the spring, not in the winter. But December 25th became the celebration at 336 AD. So it's been around for a while.
Right.
But I did not.
Mark, I don't want you to think about this too hard because it could very much shake your faith if you really start realizing about all the crap that's just gone in the Bible over the last 2,000 years.
Gifts. Well, you got to look at common sense too. I mean, we can only know what we know, and things are written down, and a book's written like as if something happened the next day. And it could have been years from then. So let's face it. You see a star in the sky. You're traveling by camel. You didn't get there the same night he was born.
It could have been an agenda of a pope or a king or some powerful group that snuck into the Bible as well. Who knows, Mark?
How about gift giving?
Gift giving, I'm going to blame the Germans on that one.
Now they say for Christians, supposedly. Now I never heard this before, but gift giving mimics the present that the wise men brought to Jesus. But it's actually rooted in a pagan holiday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's
offerings. It's offerings to the god.
There's a whole lot of pagan in all of our Christian holidays that people don't like to talk about.
All our holidays.
Yeah, yeah.
Evergreens are ancient tradition. Did you know that?
I did. Yes.
The Christmas tree been around for a minute.
The Tannenbaum.
You can thank Prince Albert for your Christmas tree.
Was he in the can at the time?
That's the first thing I thought.
That's what everybody's like. Hey, do you have Prince Albert in the can? Well, you should let him out. Prank call.
Here's one. Christmas trees have German roots.
Yeah, that's true.
They really took off in popularity.
Yep.
Thanks to Prince Albert. In 1848, they were sketched standing in front of their tree with their children. And, of course, that picture made it around, and it became fashionable to have.
Yep. So if it wasn't for Prince Albert, there'd be a hell of a lot more pine trees all over the world,
Yes.
wouldn't there? Yeah.
And it's a lot nicer out there than they are inside your house.
True.
That's why I like the fake one.
I just don't have one because I live alone, so who cares?
The original Santa Claus was actually St. Nicholas. Now, I've heard about this.
What was Saint
I learned about
Nicholas?
this
What was
Christmas on 34th Street?
What was he? What was he famous for? What did he do? He's like, oh, you got to pray to Saint Nicholas.
Bishop in the 4th century, he did not wear the red suit that's famous today, but he did give all his inheritance to the poor and needy. And in Dutch, his name is Sinterklaas.
Sphincterklaas. Yes.
Sphincterklaas.
Sure. It's not that.
Which later morphed into Santa Claus.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
These are all fascinating. How long have you been reading Good Housekeeping? A while?
I used to be back in my mom's toilet when I would use the bathroom.
Wow.
So it's been a while.
Maybe you should get some Reader's Digest for our next podcast.
Coca-Cola played a part in Santa's image.
Yep, I do know about that. Coca-Cola is the one that gave Santa the beard and the red. I think it was Coke that gave him the beard and the red suit.
Yes.
Yeah, I do remember that.
In 1931, to put it inside a Coca-Cola ad.
Mm-hmm. So Santa's not even 100 years old.
Hanging stockings was started by accident.
By accident? By how?
The historic St. Nicholas heard about the plight of a local man who did not have enough dowry money to marry off his 3 daughters. So St. Nick tossed some money down the chimney that actually landed, supposedly, in ladies' stockings.
Oh, all right. I like that tradition.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Rudolph was a marketing ploy.
Yeah, I believe that.
It's actually copywritten by the Montgomery Ward department store.
All right,
I remember Montgomery Wards.
So that was a department store ad that went wrong.
1939. Yeah.
Yeah, back in that was kids. That's what they called going viral in 1939. That's how you went viral.
Here's one for you. Reindeer names. The 8 tiny reindeers. The 8 tiny reindeer have left lots of names. They've previously been called Flossie.
Flossie. So what? They were strippers. They were black strippers. What?
Flossie.
Please bring up to the stage Flossie. Let's welcome Flossie up here.
Flossie, on Glossy, on Racer, on Pacer, on Scratcher, on Freckles.
Jesus.
Freckless. What does freckless mean?
Freckless?
Without freckles?
Maybe you're dyslexic. I don't know.
Ready, steady, and fireball.
Huh? Fireball. That's a whole different thing now.
Yes, it is. Brings a lot of good cheer.
Yeah. On Fireball.
Jingle Bells was originally a Thanksgiving song.
Really?
Turned out we first started dashing through the snow for an entirely different holiday. He wrote the song called A One-Horse Open Sleigh for his church Thanksgiving concert in the mid-19th century.
Yeah.
Then in 1857, a song was re-released under the title, as we all know today, Jingle Bells.
This is all very fascinating stuff, Mark. Are we almost done?
And one more.
Okay.
Astronauts broadcast Jingle Bells from space. Did you know that?
I did not.
1965.
No, I was not born. So
On a Gemini 6 mission control, on a Gemini 6 mission, they told mission control that there are unidentified flying objects that were entering the Earth's atmosphere, traveling from a polar orbit north to south.
we don't need this now. This is all we need.
So, ladies and gentlemen, not worry about the drones. It's
Right.
just Santa
It's probably just Santa and his elves. Yeah.
Dropping off,
New Jersey has been really, really good this year, so they're going to get lots of gifts. That's all it is.
Jersey needs all the help it can get.
Oh, dude, and all the lights are red and green on the drones. That's totally Santa Claus.
Perfect. See,
Oh, I'm not worried anymore.
solved.
This is
Now you know
definitely
we're-
definitely not our last show.
It took me an hour to get there, but we got to the point.
Feels so much better now. We've solved the drone sightings. It's just St. Nicholas being mischievous.
Well,
All right.
since this is going to be our show that airs, it'll actually drop this Friday. We're actually recording this on, is today Monday?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
Monday.
Today's December 16th as we record this because Mark
Right.
has been sick and Erica has been out of town again, running around like a lunatic.
So to 20th, this will actually air on the 20th.
Okay, well, Merry Christmas, Mark, and everybody, one person listening.
Yes, we're going to take a quick break and then we're going to come back and play a little sample of our last show. Had some nice comments about that. That was actually kind of cool.
Oh, about our final show on the
People from
radio.
Playground. Yeah, we played a little piece of it last week.
That's almost 30 years ago, dude.
And yeah, because it wasn't. It was close to Christmas time.
Yep.
It must have been right before the fall book, maybe.
I think I had
minute?
a vacation, so I think they wanted us done, and they wanted to put just best of John Boy and Billy on to get everybody ready for the new show in January. So I think they were running just clips of John Boy and Billy. I was on vacation. I don't know.
I just remember that. Only reason why I remember this is because I remember getting fired from my next job instantly. I was fired within less than 30 days. Within about 2 or 3 weeks, I was fired for. I left to go. You remember that guy Brian? He was actually pretty cool. He was. I can't remember what his last name was, but it was Brian, and he had a brother, and they had radio stations in Brunswick, and in Daytona.
Oh yeah, I can't remember their names either. Yes.
And and Brian was the guy who was in Daytona. He was pretty cool. And
Right.
He loved us.
Yeah.
And he would and when he found, I called him when I knew I was going to have to get out of there, and he said, we got something we could put you over at the station, in a station in Brunswick. We had a rock station there that doesn't have a live afternoon drive.
Mm-hmm.
So I took that job right away, and it was, I should have known better.
Why?
I know radio is very, it's really who you know. I mean,
So what happened?
I don't care. I can't tell you how many jobs I got from Val, before I ever actually met him in person.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, and same with it's because once they get to know you and they get comfortable with you,
Yeah.
and they trust you, like consultants and people like that, they really can be your best friend.
Oh, well, they'll certainly help you get jobs that you shouldn't take. I did the same thing when I went to Savannah. I should have never gone there.
So I
That was
went
a
down
consultant.
there, and I got to the job, and the guy comes in when I'm there, and I'm already there the first thing in the morning. I'm getting my office organized and this and that. And he goes, "Who are you?"
Uh-oh.
If you don't mind me asking, I go, "I'm Mark Matthew." I went to go shake his hand. Did not put his hand out,
Uh-oh.
and said, do you work here? Because I don't remember hiring you.
So the guy in Daytona Beach hired you and didn't tell anybody?
Didn't tell his brother.
Oh my God. That's where you know it's not going to work out.
And it's like, oh crap!
I moved all the way down here for this.
Oh crap! And then I remember it was the weird part about it was I didn't even have to pack all my boxes to move the next time.
That's how long you were there.
Unpacked.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow,
And,
dude, I didn't know
yeah.
that. I don't know
And
this
yeah.
story.
And it was like right before Christmas. And you might know the good part of this story though, because when the guy let me go, he goes, "Can I do anything for you? I'm sorry this didn't work out. I just not wanting to hire anybody."
Yeah.
And I said, "Yeah, you can hand me the R&R." And I grabbed a job over in
Mississippi.
Got a job lineup on Mississippi, and I got that job. But before then, I was talking to Finn. Remember Finn?
Oh yeah, Finn Dilly was the guy who worked for McGathy, the independent promoter.
Right.
Yeah.
And Finn was married or a girlfriend. I can't remember which one it was, but she worked for Simon and Schuster, and somebody else was the big publishing company.
Yeah.
And they said, "Oh my gosh, I'll see what I can do and help you look and things like." They were nice. You know what I mean? But when I came home from Mississippi and I scored the job, I came back. I just had to come back to pack and get out of there.
Yeah.
On my front porch was 2 gigantic boxes, 2 like big moving like furniture boxes.
Yeah.
Full of books and toys.
Aw,
and
for your
stuffed
kids.
animals for my kids.
That was very nice of them.
Because that was when I had to literally think about what I was going to tell the kids about Christmas. Because
Wow.
you remember, we didn't make much money. I don't know what,
No.
I'm sure a lot of people made more money than we did, but we didn't make much money. And when you're just trying to pay rent, all that stuff, and you're moving, you're paying for your own move and everything else.
Yeah, kind of F's up Christmas.
Yes, it can
Yeah.
mess up Christmas big
Yeah.
time. And the guy gave me, the guy that hired me over in Hattiesburg gave me a Christmas bonus, like he gave all the other staff members, which was 2 weeks' pay
Oh, that's nice.
before I ever worked there. So I had like a check for like, it was like, I don't know what that was. I think that job I was making $26,000 a year.
You had
which
a
is-
check that saved your life, is what you had.
So yeah, I was
Yeah.
able to not only move and pay for my move, but I was able to buy the kids gifts. And I said, "Hey Finn, thank you so much. But can I send these back?" Or he's no. He said, "I got money now. I'm okay," and I really appreciate that. No.
Finn's an awesome guy. I used to get Finn weed every time he would come to Atlanta for the morning show boot camp because he didn't want to take weed with him from New York. I remember Finn getting in my car. I had a big bag of weed for him.
Nicest guys I've
Yes.
ever met. I don't even know if I don't think I've ever talked to him again because after a while I was never not involved with.
Yeah,
any
I
more
don't know whatever happened to
corporate
his
people.
entire organization. I think maybe they kind of I don't know, everybody retired. I don't know whatever happened to them. That's a good question. I should look him up, see if he's still around. I used to love that guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
All right, well, let's take a break here because it's getting dark outside. I need to go ride my bike. So we're going to come back and we're going to play an old bit.
Yes.
Okay.
That's our Christmas present to them.
I don't encourage you listening any
Wait a minute.
further than
our
here.
Christmas present to her.
Yeah.
We have one lady that we know that listens.
Yes, this is for you, Chris. This is what we sounded like 30 years ago. Is this from the last show?
From our last show. It's called Box of Porn, but don't.
Oh,
It's not. It's more than that.
Erica and Mark. The phone call.
It's Q106, Pink Floyd at
Making fun of my microphone.
9:33.
Tell Joe we're
What,
not.
because your microphone is smaller than everybody else's? Why? Why is he making fun of your
She said,
microphone?
Look at your microphone. It's limp. Oh,
yeah, mine is kind of standing up, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Well, he's pointed the microphone straight up in the air now. Oh, I'd like to. I have a special message here for Joe, the manager of the Hooters. Don't worry, Joe. I'm not going to let the Hooters girls have any champagne. Okay?
And Mike, thank you for bringing by the orange juice.
Yeah, Mike, you rule. Orange juice. We'll let the Hooters girls drink orange juice.
Yeah.
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 That's the ticket.
That's the ticket. Yeah, don't put any champagne in there. That would be terrible. That would taste awful.
Yeah.
Oh, yuck.
tipsy.
Disco's a little tipsy?
No.
Disco got into Mark's glass, didn't he? In case you're just joining us, this is our very last show, and the Hooters girls are here. Jennifer from Hooters brought her dog, Disco,
Oh, he likes
with her
orange
today.
juice. Look at him.
He likes orange juice. Now he's licking the orange juice now. Sorry, dogs have cleaner mouths than we do, especially you and me.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I'm not sure what that
I don't
means.
know. I don't know if she's
I'm not-
excited or not now. Denise is either showing excitement or
Or
something.
maybe she's just repulsed.
I think so.
Repulsed.
Oh,
yeah,
it is
okay.
repulsed. Damn it.
It's repulsion.
I mean, what am I going to say? Excited? She's already called my microphone limp. How excited can she be?
We've had a lot of emotions on this show today. Add repulsion to the list. A lot of repulsion in this room right now.
What are we talking about?
Jennifer's not really. Jennifer's on another show right now.
Jennifer's at the Charles Perez show right now.
Jerry Springer.
Oh, Springer.
Jerry Springer. We've
We've had Jerry
there's
Springer
another
on
guest.
the air
We've had Jerry on a couple, 3
Oh,
times.
that's
Yeah.
right. He did that Cafe Rock.
The Cafe Erotica
He was
thing.
doing
That's
a
right.
Cafe Erotica show.
Disco, you can't have any more champagne out of my glass. Yeah, Jerry was a very good guest. We've had a lot of guests on, and we want to thank everybody. Oh, you know who else called a minute ago while you were out getting the orange juice off of, who was it? James gave us the orange
Mike.
juice? Mike gave us the orange
Mark.
juice.
Mark.
Mark.
Mark?
I thought
No, he's
I thought
Mark.
She said Mike. Mike, Mark.
Well, thanks to the guy who brought us the orange juice. While you were out there talking to him, a guy called. I don't know if you remember this. That's a little step back in time. Please indulge me. There was a guy who called us a while back who got in trouble with his girlfriend because she found his stash of porno magazines.
Oh, yeah. I finally finished that movie, by the way. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, it turns out that it was a homemade movie with him in it, though.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know if that was him or not.
No, I don't know. It was
But
somebody.
if that was his wife, hey,
Hey.
I see why you're married.
Well, anyway, what we did for him was we put him on the air, and he publicly apologized to his girlfriend for having the magazines, and then of course to make sure that he didn't look at them ever again, we had him bring the magazines to us
Yeah.
and the videos to us, just to make sure he wouldn't be tempted, and he did. And now he told me everything's fine. Things are going great with him and his girlfriend, and he loves her a lot, and he owes it all to us.
Oh, that's great.
See? So I guess we have made a difference.
We have done something.
I don't think about it. I just come on the radio every day and talk to you and talk to whoever calls, and we talk about stuff.
That's a scary thought.
Also want to thank,
Yeah.
we got to
It is
thank
scary.
our buddy Paul, the
Paul.
librarian.
Oh, Paul the librarian.
Q106 librarian.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming by and giving us something to do on Fridays when we really didn't feel like working.
We're going to have a whole new wing for the Q106 library now.
Oh, we got quite a few boxes of
I got
porn,
boxes
man.
of that stuff stacked up in my office. I don't know what
You
to
guys
do
want
with it
any
all.
porn to
You
bring
guys
home
want any
with
porn?
I'll look through it. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Okay.
You look through it?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure. As soon as we get off there, we'll get go. We
Browse.
got some stuff. Yeah,
We'll give you
just
a
go browse. We'll give you a library card.
Open to new ideas.
You're open to new ideas. See, I love you, Denise. You're great. You're open.
And
You're happy?
unlike a lot of libraries, we don't have our stuff in the Dewey Decimal System or anything. It's just under.
It's in a box under my desk. Just say it. That's the whole Dewey Decimal System there. Eric's desk in a box. It's 9:37 right now.
All right, I'm definitely going to ride my bike now. Merry Christmas, Mark. I'll talk to you next week.
Merry Christmas, Erica. Love you.
Erica and Mark. The phone call.